Hi, everyone. A couple of months ago, I came out with a video and I described a person named Kiwi Joe who was a remote viewer. And I described to you how him and a couple of other remote viewers had done remote viewing sessions a couple of years prior to the treasure chest being found. And after I came out with my solution, it was brought to my attention that I should check out Kiwi Joe's books because the remote viewing sessions that he did and he describes in his books are strikingly similar to what we found at our treasure location. So Kiwi Joe finally came out with his video, and I'm going to put a link to it in the description below. I'm not going to show it here, but this is his video. He released it about 10 hours ago. And what this video is his impression of, from his perspective, of how what he's seen in his remote viewing would relate to our solution, specifically the drone footage that my friends from Wyoming, Justin and Michelle, had taken. I want to let you know up front a couple things. First of all, Kiwi Joe, I don't believe was ever looking for the treasure chest. A couple of years prior to it being found, somebody hired him. So his client hired him in order to do a remote viewing of where they thought the treasure was. And then he supplied that information to his client. After he did that work, he came out with a couple of books on that Forrest Fenn topic and his remote viewing that describes and shows sketches of the area that he believed the treasure chest was in. So he did that work. I'm not really associated with Kiwi Joe at all, but he did that work. So we did our solution, as you know, and we came up with our solution. Actually, I told you that I believed it was in Five Springs back in July of 2020, if you go back and look at the videos. And then more recently, I came out with one video that describes the whole solution just to make it more clear, because I had everything scattered amongst a bunch of videos. What ended up happening was after my friends in Wyoming shot the drone footage, they told me to take a look at Joe's books. They said, "Look, you're not going to believe how similar his work was to what you did." So I went and I did that, and it blew me away. I was like, "Wow, it's like he described what I was seeing." Now I never seen his work before, and of course he never seen mine because it wasn't out there. The drone footage wasn't out there until this year. So I contacted Kiwi Joe and I made him aware of that. He checked it out and he was amazed. So, long story short, is I kind of convinced him to do a video from his perspective and describe the drone footage and compare it to his sketches, because I don't know anything about remote viewing really. Now, Kiwi Joe's been a remote viewer for 15 years. But neither one of us really knew each other until recently. And the parallels between what he did and what we did is just amazing. And it actually goes beyond that. There are four women, and I'll link my video below that I described. Now, they're also remote viewers, but unlike Kiwi Joe, I believe they're from the United States. Kiwi Joe is from New Zealand, but he lives in Australia. These women were from the United States. They did remote viewing, and theirs is also strikingly similar. I contacted one of them because the other ones I don't know how to reach. And she got back to me and she ended up checking out my video and was also amazed. But she hasn't come out with a video yet. Joe is the only one that actually came out with a video. I'm trying to get those two to collaborate and come out with another one, because this stuff, I find it amazing. So anyway, I'm going to leave a link to Joe's video and I want you to go check it out. And then I'll leave a link to the video that I came out with previously where I discussed Joe and I discussed those four women and I talk about it a little bit. But I wanted to point out again that I don't really know Joe. I only knew him for a couple of months now. Okay. So Joe and I were not teamed up together. And like I said, I don't believe Joe was ever looking for the treasure. But his client basically told them, "Look, there's a treasure chest and there's this poem, and the treasure was hidden somewhere in one of these four states in the Rocky Mountains. Could you do a remote viewing and kind of draw up what you think the place looks like. And he did that for his client. And then he kind of described it in his books. Okay. His books are available on Amazon. And he also does other topics besides Forrest Fenn. So I find his stuff very interesting. So you're probably going to want to go and check it out. This is part one that he made here. Wait until you see part two, because that's the part that's really amazing when he hones in and actually goes into the canyon. It's just amazing. It's going to blow you away. And I wanted you to hear it from his perspective, because I tried to describe it, but I don't really know how remote viewing works. The only thing I do know is it's not really a psychic ability. It's something that you could be trained to do. But basically, what you're trying to do is remotely describe a place. You're not told precisely where anything is. You're just kind of given a little bit of information, and then he describes it back as if he were standing there of where he thinks that the treasure chest would be. And like I said, when I looked at what he did, and then I showed him what the drone footage is, I'm like, look at this. I mean, and then you don't see the women's videos here. It's on another channel, but one of them actually shows a circle of Indians standing there around the fire, and it's almost identical to the campsite. And then she shows a circle up on one of the two mountain peaks that Joe describes. Well, those mountains are right there. Those peaks, you could see them as Joe described. So anyway, check it out. Go. I'll leave a link to his channel. You go to his channel, check out the video. You're really going to enjoy it. And I look forward to seeing part two, and I'm sure you will too. So anyway, I hope you all have a great week. Peace.